Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to Navionics Mobile 101. I'm going to talk about how you can use the Navionics Mobile app today. I've had a lot of questions. I do a lot of seminars. I'm a sailing and diving specialist with Navionics. I do a lot of seminars with obviously sailors and divers and other boaters. And I always get questions about the mobile app. So today we're going to go over kind of some of the basics of the mobile app and also where you can get more information. So a little bit about me. I have been sailing the Caribbean and Bahamas for about 10 years. My husband and I took a year off and sailed the Caribbean and Bahamas for a year in our 39-foot Beneteau. And we've sailed the Keys and Bahamas a lot before that as well. We've been diving on the southeast coast of Florida for years and years and years. So really enjoy the water in Florida and throughout the Caribbean and Bahamas. And throughout our travels, we have used the Navionics app. I actually got involved with Navionics because in our big trip, our cruising trip in the Caribbean, we used Navionics throughout our trip for navigation. And when I got back, I was telling one of my friends who I hadn't talked to in a long time about our trip, and he said, and while I was telling him about our trip, I told him about this app with Navionics, and that he would really like it. And he said, "I'm the national sales manager for Navionics." So he said that they were interested in getting people like me that had used it to kind of just help educate other people and show other people how to use it, their products, the way that I had used it. So that's exactly what I do. And now I'm here to help you learn about how you can use Navionics in your boating, whether it's sailing, motorboating, if you're diving, all kinds of water activities. So some of the things that we're going to talk about in the webinar today are where do you get more information? Where do you get the app? So where do you download it? Which app do you download? Navionics Plus. What is Navionics Plus? What does it include? So some of the things that Navionics Plus includes is Nautical Chart, SonarChart, Community Edits. Those are three chart layers. We'll talk about those. Downloads and updates, dock-to-dock auto routing, navigation module, waypoints, advanced map options, plotter sync, weather and tides, and then some of the free features. If you have any questions, use the Q&A link, and that will send the question to me. And if we have time at the end, we'll go over questions. And if we don't have time at the end to go over the questions, then definitely send me your questions. You'll receive an email after the webinar, and you can respond to the email. It'll go to me, and I'll answer your question via email as well. You will receive an email at the end of the webinar. I think it'll actually go out tomorrow with information about where you can find the recording. So this webinar is recorded, and actually, while I'm saying that, I'm going to make sure that it is recording. And so you'll get a link also to where you can find this recording. So if you want to come back and reference it again, you'll be able to do that. So where can you get more help and more information about your Navionics app? There is a Navionics YouTube channel, and the Navionics YouTube channel is split up into sections. One of them is the Navionics boating section, which is the app section. All of this is information about the app, and the link here I've included is the link to that section, or you can just Google for the Navionics YouTube channel, and then you'll see these different sections. It looks just like this when you pull up the Navionics YouTube channel, and you can go to this section here. There's all kinds of really, really good videos on how to use the app. You can also go to the Navionics website. There is a page here that I've listed specifically the page that is about the app. This page gives a lot of information. It's very nicely organized so that if there's something in particular you're interested in, you can click on that area to get more information. Also, a question that I get a lot is, do you have do you have like X lake covered in the charts? So that's something that a lot of people want to know before they start using an app or before they invest money in an app or a chip. They want to know what kind of data is available in a specific area. So all of that data is available on the Navionics website at webapp.navionics.com. This is the chart viewer on the Navionics website. So you can go to this website, to this address within the Navionics website, and you can look at exactly the data that's available. This is the data that's on the app and on charts. So you can see exactly what data is available right there on the internet. So if you're ever wondering, check out webapp.navionics.com. Where do you get the app? You get the app from either the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. There is a free option. You can search for Navionics Boating from either one of the stores, and you download the Navionics Boating app. And then if you're using an Apple device, such as an iPhone or an iPad, you will start your 2-week trial automatically. And that includes the Navionics Plus, and we'll talk a little bit about what Navionics Plus means. If you are on an Android, you just need to tap Menu, Shop, and select your region. So then it tells the app what region you want to download, and it starts your 2-week trial. You also have paid options. You can search for Navionics and then download any Navionics app that is a paid app, and that includes Navionics Plus. That's a 1-year subscription. And Navionics Plus 1-year subscription will, after a year, there'll be most of the things that you've used will remain on your device. It lives on your device. The only difference is after your subscription expires, then you just won't be able to do chart updates. And we'll go over that in a little bit more detail later. And after the 1-year subscription is over, then you can get up to 50% off of a renewal. So I heard, somebody's saying that they can't see the PowerPoint, and I am sharing a PowerPoint. Let me try to stop sharing and reshare. Okay, so we have 2 people saying they can't see the share. Glad you guys told me that. Okay. If anybody wants to let me know if they can see it now, I just stopped sharing and reshared. Okay, so I got it, so that's good. Great. Okay. Okay, great. Thank you guys. Okay, so let's continue. Now that you guys can actually see my screen, I'm glad you said something before we got to anything too screen intensive. So these are your options for your free and paid version. So that when you get the trial or the paid version, you get a Navionics Plus subscription. Now, what is in the Navionics Plus subscription? So you get the same charts, the exact same charts that you get on chart plotters. That's a very common question that I get in my seminars is people are often under the impression that the charts have a lot less detail than charts that you'd see on a chart plotter, but that's actually not the case. You get all the same data. You get a 1-year subscription that includes 3 layers on your chart. So the 3 layers are nautical chart, SonarChart, and community edits. And we'll go into detail about what each of these are. You get daily chart updates. So Navionics makes about 2,000 updates a day to their charts. So with the subscription, you can update your charts as often as you want. You also get dock-to-dock auto-routing, which we'll go over, navigation module, advanced map options, plotter sync, and weather and tides. So we'll go over all of those things in detail, and you get up to a 50% discount to renew after a year if you want to continue having the option to update your charts. So these 3 layers that I was talking about. Nautical chart is what you're kind of used to with cartographic reference detailed charts. So you get port plans, marine services, tides and currents, navigation aids. So this first image here is a nautical chart layer. And after we go through the presentation, I'm gonna cast my iPad onto the webinar so you can see exactly how to turn on and off these things. But in the bottom left corner, there's a little round icon in your app. And if you click that icon, then it pops up with these three options: nautical chart, SonarChart, and community edits. And you can turn on and off these, or nautical chart, SonarChart, and you can turn on and off these layers. So the next layer is SonarChart. This is where you get the really detailed depth contours. This is what a lot of fishermen love, the divers. With this lets you see exactly where the drop-offs are and how the bottom is contoured. This is great for, obviously, for fishermen, because fishermen use this all the time to find fishing holes. Divers, this is great. This is really, really good for divers because you can find ledges that you want to dive. And also really, really good for sailors because you can see how close you can get to that island and not have to swim so far to get in. Community edits is the third layer. This is where users like you can submit information such as seasonal buoys, lights, rocks, moorings, boat ramps, points of interest. Any user can comment. They can rate and modify and delete community edits. So it's self-moderated. Everyone, the community moderates itself. Though Navionics is watching, and if there is something that is questionable, then they will investigate. All the edits are signed by registered users, and this layer is a separate layer from the official layer, so it can be switched on and off. So if you want information from other users, you can turn it on. If not, you can turn it off. If you ever go to around the St. Martin area, you can see a lot of community edits that I did as we were sailing around there, just to kind of help other sailors in the area. You can update your chart. So with the Navionics Plus subscription, you can update your chart, as I was saying, as often as you want. You can update your chart from within the app. All you have to do is open the Navionics boating app, click menu, and then click update all or download map. This will update all the charts that you've downloaded. Download map will let you download a specific area. Here you can see where before the chart was updated, and after the chart was updated, so there was a lot more information after the chart was updated. So this is the type of thing you could expect. I mean, there might not be any updates in the area that you're looking at, but there might be a lot of updates, such as here. Michael says, on my iPad, sometimes all the depths disappear. I have to restart the app to get them to reappear. That sounds like a connection issue. So sometimes if the connection is kind of slow when you're downloading or when you're first looking at a chart and it needs to reload that chart, then some parts of it don't load. So you said that you have to restart the app. Okay, so yeah, sometimes that has to do with just the computing power of the iPad. But if it does happen over and over, you can also submit a bug report on the Navionics website and give them exactly what is happening, and then they can look into that. And if it's something that other people are seeing as well, then they'll definitely look into that and see what they can do to alleviate that. And thanks for commenting on that. Dock-to-dock auto routing. This is another feature that's included with Navionics Plus. You can create detailed routes from one place to another, kind of like Google Maps for boats. This will give you the route to take to get to your destination. It'll give you your estimated fuel consumption, distance, and ETA. And we will, I'll show you in the demo of how to do this, but it's very simple. You're just going to click routes on the bottom of your screen in your chart. And another really cool thing about routes is that points of interest appear automatically at near your destination. And most of these points of interest also include phone numbers or VHF channels. Like marinas might have a VHF channel. Maybe the restaurants might not, but marinas will. So these points of interest can include anything from marinas and moorings to fuel stations, restaurants, shops, repairs, dealers, gas stations, all kinds of stuff. So it's really an interesting, a cool way to find out what's available at your destination. And the navigation module, which is also included in Navionics Plus, you tap the route in the bottom of your screen, and then manual route. So for advanced, this is for advanced route planning. This will give you your ETA, your distance to arrival, your heading to your waypoint, your fuel consumption, and a lot more. This, in the screen here, you can see on the left, there's information about each of these points that we talked about, ETA, distance to arrival, and we'll go through how you do that as well. It's very, very simple. You just click route from the bottom, click manual, and then you're going to use your finger just to tap on the points that you want to use to create your route, and then you're all done. It does all the calculations for you. Waypoints. Waypoints is something that is a very common question, and it's very simple to mark a waypoint in your app. I'll go through that in the demo as well. Just click on the chart, and it's going to come up with a little crosshairs. And when the crosshair comes up, there'll be a little question mark. When you click the question mark, that's when it pops up with the option to save a marker. So if you save it as a marker, that's saving a waypoint. There's also a really good video on that. It's like a 45-second video on the Navionics YouTube channel. Advanced map options. This is also included in Navionics Plus. This is what lets you change the charts to look exactly the way you want them to look. So you can just go to menu and then menu option, map options. Then you can highlight shallow areas, you can select depth shading and filter depth contours, you can adjust water level, you can even enable a fishing mode so that you can target fishing areas, and this is going to color a very specific depth in a different color so that you can stay within that depth area. We'll go over how to do that, but here you can see the before and after where the shallow areas are not shaded in the top, and then where the shallow area is shaded with these little red dots in the bottom. When we're sailing, I typically turn this on so that everything under about 7 feet is like this. We draw 5 feet. So if I have it to 7 feet, that's cutting it as close as I want to ever cut it. And so everything that has these little red dots, I know I'm going to stay away from. It's very, very obvious to me. And it's easy to see if you're in big seas or something's happening going on around you and you don't want to have to think about what you're looking at on the map. You can look down and just look for those little red marks. Plotter sync. Plotter sync is where you can connect to compatible Raymarine or Wi-Fi eligible plotters. You can do all kinds of things when you connect your two devices. You can transfer routes and markers. You can even update your charts. So it used to be that whenever you had a Navionics chart in your chart plotter, you had to take the chart out of your chart plotter and go take it to your computer and do an update if you wanted to get the latest data. However, now you can, using Plotter Sync, you can update that Navionics plotter card without having to take it out. You can just use the Plotter Sync. You can also activate eligible plotter cards so that you can enable the chart update subscriptions. It does require that you have an active Navionics Plus subscription on mobile and an active chart update subscription on the plotter card. So just make sure that you have your Navionics Plus subscription on your mobile, and when you buy your chart card for your chart plotter, just make sure that you activate the chart updates subscription when you buy the card. Weather and tides. This is also another feature that's available. Weather and tides lets you see all kinds of cool stuff. They've just updated very recently the look and feel of the weather and tides section. So it's really easy to see temperature and wind conditions, tides, currents, the direction of the current, moon and sun cycles, like all kinds of neat things. So those are all right there. And these icons that you see on the screen are actually clickable as well, which will take you to a more detailed listing of the information in that icon. So we'll show you that in the demo as well. SonarChart Live. This is how you can create a personalized map of an area. So a SonarChart will let a SonarChart map so that you use the data that you've collected, the bathymetry map that you've collected from your own transducer, and it goes directly into your chart. It uses sonar data from the sounder connected via Wi-Fi. And there's a lot of information on the Navionics website about compatibility and what transducers and chart plotters and mobile devices you can use with this. I personally have a Vexilar T-Box on all of our boats, and the Vexilar T-Box is a transducer and a Wi-Fi producer all together, and that makes a Wi-Fi signal that goes to my phone, and I get the live depth reading on my phone within the app, and it also collects live data so that the chart is updated behind me automatically. This is a free feature, and the Fishfinder view is also included. So you can click on the, as you can see in the very bottom of the screen, you can click on the area that looks like a sonar reading, and you can actually see where the fish are. There's even an option in there to configure it so that instead of it looking like a sonar type reading, it actually shows a picture of a fish, which I think is kind of neat. And it's also configurable. And these logs are automatically sent to Navionics from your mobile phone or mobile device, so you can so that this data can help other people. This data goes to the Navionics servers, and then it's normalized using algorithms, and then it's sent out to everyone else so that everyone can contribute to the latest charts. It's chart crowdsourcing. There is a great webinar on SonarChart Live. The whole webinar is on this feature. So if you're interested in this, I'd highly suggest you check out this webinar listed here. And it's also available if you just search on the Navionics YouTube channel. You'll find it there as well. I have a video here, but it does not seem to be playing. Okay, so this is a video of SonarCharts Live. This is where someone is collecting their sonar data, and you can see how the chart updates behind them. So they have the absolute latest depth data that you could possibly have because they just went over that. And you can see the chart updates behind them, and then that data will be available as another layer in their chart, and it'll also be incorporated into the chart data after it's been normalized with the Navionics algorithms. So some of the permanent features of Navionics. These are features that reside on your phone even after your Navionics Plus subscription expires. So this is a very common question that I get, and it is very commonly misunderstood because people often think that once a Navionics subscription expires, that's it. You can't use Navionics anymore, but that's not the case at all. Once your Navionics subscription expires, you still have all your charts that you've downloaded, and you have your app on the phone. The things that are going to stay on your phone are tracks, routes, distance, markers, the wind, map options, syncing, so you can still sync your mobile device to your iPhone to your iPad. You still are going to have your photos and videos in there that you've taken. You can still share if you take photos, videos, or you can share your routes and tracks. You can still do all that sharing, and you still get a link to magazines and guides within the app as well. So there's still a lot of functionality that remains on your device even after your Navionics subscription expires. So let's test my technology skills because I'm going to try to connect my iPad to the computer so you guys can see. It's thinking. Okay, I'm going to pause the share so that I can switch my screens. Okay, can you guys see the screen with the chart on it? Okay, great. Thank you. Wonderful. Oh, I see a question here. Will Active Captain eventually be incorporated into Navionics? So Community Edits is like Active Captain in that you can add all this information and ratings and things like that. All of that is also available in Community Edits. So actually, Community Edits, Active Captain won't be incorporated into Navionics. It's Community Edits. So you can use Community Edits for much the same thing that you use Active Captain for. So let's let me just get started with the demo. So if you want to track yourself and you're starting a journey and you want to know where you went, and maybe like you're going into some place that you're unfamiliar with and you want to be able to find your way back, so you would just click start. I clicked start, and that is all you have to do. Now it's going to draw a yellow line behind me everywhere I go. And it's that simple. And then after you've finished traveling, doing your route, and you're finished tracking, you can click stop, and then this is going to come up, and you can just say save, pause, or delete. So you can pause the tracking, or you can save it, or you can delete it. In this case, I didn't go anywhere, so I'm just going to say delete. And it's going to make sure you really mean it. Make sure you don't do it accidentally. If you click menu, there's a cool new feature up here called Inbox, and Inbox is going to give you news, tips, all kinds of new information from Navionics. So right there from within the app. Tracks, these are your archived tracks. So all the tracks that you've saved are saved here. You can sort by a date, distance, speed, time, your routes. So the routes that you've saved that are here in your archived routes. And your markers. This is where your waypoints, you'll find your waypoints. Those are all in here as well. So if you want to update your chart, here, and I've clicked menu to get to this menu, and you're going to click download map, and a little square is going to pop up. Now I'm going to cancel this to show you something. If I zoom out, then all of this white area is the area that I've downloaded already. The stuff that's not white, it's kind of more grayed out, is the area that I haven't downloaded yet. So to show you how to download a map, I'm going to select an area that I don't have downloaded yet. Let's go to this kind of grayed out area over here that I don't have downloaded. And keep in mind that if you, the bigger the square, the longer it's going to take to download and the more data it'll take. So my suggestion is to download this information, download the chart before you leave your Wi-Fi connection, unless you have an unlimited data plan on your iPad or your iPhone. So I'm I can zoom in and out to make it bigger or smaller. I can also grab the corner. I just have my finger on the corner of the square so that I can drag the corner of the square, and I can make it any shape or size I want. Let's say I want to download that area, then I'm just going to click download in the bottom right. And it says requesting, and now I have that area downloaded. That's all you have to do. If you want to update all of your charts, then you're just going to go to menu and update all. That's going to update all of the charts that you have downloaded. Now let's say that you want to see an area, and I'm going to go back to, okay, let's say you want to take the map to where you are. Just click in the arrow in the bottom left. That's going to take you back to where you are. So I am on Lake Osborne right now. Let's go out here to the Atlantic. This is where I come out a lot. And see how much detail we have here. And the contour lines are very thick. So if you click the little circle icon on the bottom left, what you'll see is 3 layers. You have the government chart, which is the absolute basic chart. Then you have a Navionics chart. This is the nautical chart that we discussed. And now if you want those extremely detailed contour lines, you just have to click SonarChart, and that is going to pull up all the SonarChart contours for you. Let's say that you're in an area that those contour lines are really, really thick, and you don't want quite all of them. So under Map Options, you can actually turn down the SonarChart density. So notice how when I turned this down under Map Options, it changes the number of those contour lines. That is going to let you change how your chart looks based on how many contour lines you want. And while we're in Map Options, this is the advanced map options that we talked about. You can change if you want north up, heads up, or course up. You can also do that, I'm just going to close that quickly, by tapping on the little arrow icon in the bottom left. Just tap it multiple times and it changes the mode, just like if you had gone to the menu chart section. So we're going to go back to map options. You can also add overlays. So the satellite overlay will be shown with the Navionics Plus subscription. We're going to do this later. Other things available under map options would be the water level. If you're fishing, say, in a lake and they just opened a dam and the water level is down 2 feet today, you can change the water level there. Fishing mode will let you highlight areas that change color based on the depth. And apparently my Navionics Plus subscription ran out last night. And community edits, make sure that community edits is turned on in the bottom left here. If you have community edits turned on, this will let you add community edits. It'll also let you see other people's community edits. One of the big things that people ask me about all the time is say you're over a nice reef that you found and you want to mark it. So we're out here fishing and we say, okay, I'm right here, and so you just click on the chart. You want to mark it, so you click on the chart, click on the question mark, and that question mark is going to come up, and there are 2 options here. One is edit map, the other is marker. So if you click marker, this is going to let you add a marker to your chart only. This is not going to be shared with other people. This is only going to be on your chart. And this is going to let you make your own waypoint. If you go back, if you click edit map, this will be shared with other people. So this will be shared, this would be uploaded to the Navionics servers, and that would be shared as a community edit. So this is how you add a community edit. Let's go through that one more time. If you click on the chart, click the question mark, click edit map. Now you can select what type of marker you'd like to mark. Let's say you found a rock, and it's a rock that is it's undercover. Then you can add your name information and all of that to that. And once you click save, then that's going to be saved on your chart, as well as when you get back to Wi-Fi signal, it'll be uploaded to the Navionics servers, and then everybody will be able to see it. So if you see something that you'd like to share with other boaters and help out the boating community, this is how you do it. To create a route, you can click manual, just hold down your points. Something that I've heard from a lot of people is I can't get the routes I click but nothing happens. Well, you just make sure that when you're creating a route, you hold down your finger for an extended period of time. It's just a fraction longer than people are used to clicking on a screen, which is why it seems like it's not working. But that's how you're telling the app to drop a point there. So this is how you create a route. You can also remove. Also available in your menu is magazines and guides. So this will give you information right from within the app that many boaters are interested in. So a lot of information right here from within the app. You can download information directly. So we are getting close on time. We have another webinar coming up after this. So let me check on So the question is, how do you turn off the pink and purple birds in the app? So the pink birds mean that it's a protected area. So currently there's no way to turn off that, because it's to make sure that people know that this is important information. One thing that you pointing this out did remind me of is that there are a lot of points also now within the charts, like diving points and fishing spots. So you'll see these icons and you can click on them for more information. So this is a dive spot called the bathtubs. And if you click on the question mark, it's going to give you information about this dive spot, and then you can click further into it to get more information. And then you can actually click boat to, and it's going to tell you how to boat there. Of course, right now I'm on land, so it's not going to tell me how to boat there. It's going to have an error. But that's so from within the app, anytime you have a question about what something means, you can see here a great example of all of the spots that have been added to the charts recently. So these are all part of the charts that come with your app now. So if you have other questions, I'm happy to answer them. Please send an email to me or respond to the email that you get after the webinar. Thank you so much for joining, and have a great night. And thank you so much to Navionics for sponsoring the webinar. And happy boating, everybody.